From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Thursday, September the 15th, 2022. Well, today marks 2 years since the signing of the Abraham Accords, the historic agreements normalizing ties between Israel and the United Arab Emirates and between Israel and Bahrain. The foreign minister of the UAE, Sheikh Abdullah bin Zayed Al Nahyan, arrived in Israel last night to celebrate the 2-year milestone and held meetings today in Jerusalem. His first visit, by the way, to Israel's capital. Al Nahyan met this afternoon with Israeli Prime Minister Yair Lapid, who welcomed the foreign minister, saying, "My friend, together we are changing the face of the Middle East. We are changing it from war to peace, from terrorism to economic cooperation, from a discourse of violence and extremism to a dialogue of tolerance and cultural curiosity." Lapid said, "You may know that the Hebrew word shalom has 2 meanings, both hello and peace. So I greet you with shalom, and I wish us all shalom, a blessing of peace. Welcome to Israel, my dear friend." Earlier today, Israel's President Isaac Herzog and First Lady Michal Herzog hosted an official luncheon at the president's residence in honor of Al Nahyan. Herzog telling him the Abraham Accords are a joyous celebration of a paradigm shift in the Middle East, of new voices, of a new horizon for our children, of the potential for change. Our bold friendship, he said, shows the world that another, better, more humane world is possible. Assalamu alaikum, wishing peace be upon you in Arabic to Al Nahyan. And in another historic first today, the foreign minister visited Israel's memorial to the Holocaust, Yad Vashem, and laid a wreath in the Hall of Remembrance, accompanied by Yad Vashem chair Dani Dayan. Diplomatic correspondent Barak Ravid shared video and what Al Nahyan wrote in the Yad Vashem guest book, which reads, "I am here today to remind ourselves of the lessons that history teaches us and the great responsibility we have to behave with tolerance for the sake of building our community and society." He wrote, "We must take a brave step to build a bridge of true peace for future generations." U.S. Ambassador to Israel Tom Nides shared his good wishes on the anniversary of the Abraham Accords, sharing a video on social media of some of the historic moments and highlights since the signing 2 years ago. Nides wrote, "Signing these historic agreements between Israel and other countries is all about making people's lives a little bit better, more peaceful, more prosperous, more vibrant, and more integrated." Last night, President Herzog hosted a reception for military chiefs of staff and high-ranking generals from 18 nations at the president's residence for an IDF conference on military innovation. Among those present, high-ranking generals from the UAE, as well as from NATO, and the chiefs of staff of Morocco, Greece, Cyprus, Poland, and the Czech Republic. And from the United States, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Mark Milley, was present, as was Commander of U.S. Central Command, General Michael Kurilla. Herzog said at the gathering, "We salute the IDF's cooperation with foreign militaries, boosting our readiness and our friends. Strong armies like the IDF help to keep the peace in our region and the world." The Sylvan Adams Nefesh B'Nefesh Bonei Tzion Prize recipients for 2022 were announced yesterday, recognizing Olim, new immigrants from English-speaking countries who have made significant contributions to the State of Israel. They include, in the field of education, President of the Schechter Institutes, Rabbi Professor David Golinkin; for science and medicine, founder of the Department of Neonatology at Shaarei Tzedek Medical Center, Professor Arthur Edelman; for community and nonprofit, co-founders of Thank Israeli Soldiers, Pamela and Abba Klayman. A Lifetime Achievement Award was also given out to founder and chair of the Jerusalem Green Fund, Naomi Tzur, for promoting sustainability in Israel and across the world. And the Young Leadership Prize was given to Asher Fredman, Director for Israel at the Abraham Accords Peace Institute. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Thursday, September the 15th at 7 o'clock. It's Talmud Study. At 7:30, Alan Dershowitz talks about President Biden's student loan plan. At 8, Blackstone Managing Director Yifat Oron talks about smashing the glass ceiling. At 9, Mark Golub sits down with Dorit Inbar on L'chaim. At 10, Erez Sherman speaks with former president of the Miami Marlins, David Samson. And coming up next, it's Good Week, Israel. And that's the JBS News Update for Thursday, September the 15th, 2022. I'm Teisha Bader. Stay healthy, stay well.